YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. Actually, this is sort of not really in two parts, but I'm going to be splicing in some stuff that I recorded yesterday. I made a pickup video, didn't really have time to edit it, and I have a few more things to add today because I actually got quite a bit of stuff in today. So I'm going to go through all this right now, and the first part of this will probably be, you know, basically the stuff that I found today, and then the last part of it will actually be the stuff that I found previously. So I'll get started on the stuff that I found today right now. It's a pretty awesome haul, actually. The first thing I found here was a Wii system, just the deck only, or whatever you like to call it. This is the only part to it, but the thing with it is, you know, it was $8, so I thought I'd go for it. I did plug it in and try to test it out, but I didn't really have a good chance really to problem solve it or anything like that. It seemed to me like it powered on and everything like that, but the one problem with it, it seemed like, was that it wasn't registering the sensor bar, so I'm gonna have to look into that and just see if there's a workaround or a fix for that, or if I just wasn't you know, getting it set up. I was sort of in a rush when I was doing it, so I may not have just done it right. And then also in there, and it's in the tray right now, is a copy of Rock Band for the Wii. So I thought that was a pretty good deal for $8. I'll see what I can do. Worst comes to worst, it could always just be a parts machine. So that's the first thing that I found there. Next I went to a Goodwill, and I actually saw a PS2 system, which I'm generally speaking leaving them behind these days, usually because they're asking like $20–25 for them in the stores, but this one here was actually reasonably priced, so I thought I'd go for it. So it's a system. It has a first party memory card in it, which is kind of cool. Always handy to have those. And inside of it was a copy of Surf Riders for the PlayStation, which is PlayStation 1. And I didn't have this in my collection, so that's kind of neat. Too bad it's not the case or anything like that. I don't think it's an overly valuable game, probably, but still kind of cool. Also came with the power supply that goes with it, an extra cord for power, which I don't really know why that was attached to it. This was all sort of bundled up with tape when I got it, so the AV cord was there, and then two controllers. First one's just like your standard kind of controller, actually both standard controllers, but standard black controller, really in disgusting shape. They'll have to clean that up, but I know how to do that, so it's not a big deal. And then finally this one here, which is a standard controller, but you can see it has this sort of green kind of I don't know, sticker on it, decal on it or whatever. I'll just probably end up peeling that off because it's sort of not really placed on there correctly, I don't think. I don't know, you tell me what you think of those, but I'd rather just see like a regular controller without all the fancy decoration on it. So that was also in there. So for all of that, I paid $12, which I thought was a pretty cool deal for all of that, and something I'm basically just gonna flip because I don't really need an extra PS2 system or anything like that. Funny thing is, it's not in the world's greatest shape. There are a few scratches and things on it, but the person actually left the seal tape, or whatever you like to call it, the tape that would be on an electronic originally to protect it. They actually left that on there, so they'll be like, this part's kind of scratched up, but then this part, you know, is going to be completely perfect because they didn't actually take that seal off of it. It's kind of funny. So there hasn't really been a whole lot out there recently, but I was able to actually find quite a few things today at one of the Value Villages that I went into. Really cool score, an occasion to actually use one of my 30% off cards because I've been kind of holding out. I've left a few things behind just because it wasn't really worth using my card on one item type of idea, but I'm really glad that I did, and I'll show you that actually at the end of this or whatever. The first thing that I picked up though at 30% off was Animorphs Shattered Reality. I don't know anything about this title, so if you know anything about this one, you let me know. It kind of looks like a 3D platforming idea. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but you let me know if you know anything about this one. What they wanted was $2 for that one, so for that one there I paid, you know, $1.40 with my 30% off, so I thought, you know, it's worth a shot. Something I was pretty interested in here too is Gex, which I didn't have in my collection as well, so that's pretty sweet. I actually found a few titles that I didn't have, which is really nice today. This one here, again, you know, $1.40 for that. Not going to turn that down. And the disc on this one has a few minor scratches, but I'm sure it'll play, which is kind of cool. And one that I was really happy to find because I really do like kart racers, and this is one of the ones that I was sort of on the lookout for, but never really came across yet. What I did today is MotorTune Grand Prix, and that one there, again, was $1.40, so that's pretty sweet. This one here, if I remember correctly, isn't in the world's greatest shape. It has quite a few like scratches on it and things like that. It looks pretty awful in the light actually there, but you know, I can resurface that if I need to. If it plays, then it plays, that's great. But it was something I was looking for, and I can always upgrade it later. The case is in not great shape, but again, replacement CD case is not a big deal. So also for the PlayStation 1, I picked up Red Alert, Command & Conquer Red Alert Retaliation, and I already have this in my collection, I'm fairly certain of it, but this one here was really clean, so I decided to pick it up. Discs are pretty awesome, and I think mine in my collection actually might be a little bit scratched up, so kind of looking forward to seeing how that all works out. This one is complete because it has the manual and everything in there as well, and that second disc is in even better shape than the first one, so this might be an upgrade for me. If not, you know, I'll resell that. That one there they wanted $3 for, so you know, I paid $2.10, which I thought was more than reasonable for this game. I guess they just charge a little more because it's a double disc game. Moving on, also at 30% because I picked up some titles for other systems as well. I picked up Minicopter Adventure Flight, and I always like RC related stuff just because it's another one of my hobbies. I haven't really done much with it lately, but still enjoy like games around it. I think this may have been in a Metal Jesus Rocks video as well. I'm not totally certain about it, but for some reason I remember somebody saying that this wasn't too bad of a title. But again, I've never played it and don't know a whole lot about it, so you guys let me know. For this one here, they wanted $4, so let's see here, that's $2.80. So it's a pretty sweet deal, I thought, right there. And then also for $4, I picked up Watchmen: The End Is Nigh Parts 1 and 2. And this is a street brawler, I think, for the most part. If I remember correctly, I think I've seen some videos on this in the past. Don't know a whole lot about it, but really enjoyed the Watchmen movie when it came out. This is obviously like a tie-in sort of idea. The disc on this one is in pretty good shape. It's not too bad. A little bit scuffed up. You can kind of see it better in the light there, but you know, it'll definitely play. So that's pretty cool right there, and something I didn't have in the collection already, which is really nice. Something I did have in the collection, but I'm going to end up trading this off or selling it off kind of thing, is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. And that one there, they actually wanted $5 for, which is kind of interesting. You know, so for that I paid $3.50, which is nice with my discount and everything. The disc on this one is in pretty decent shape. I'll have to check it against mine because it's pretty nice, and always a good title to pick up to flip. People will have a tendency to want to get their hands on that one. And then something that really is up my alley, because this one here, I'm fairly certain, if my memory serves me correctly, I don't have it in my collection, but I do have it on the PS2, so I don't have it in my Xbox collection. So if that's the case, then this one will be the one that I hold on to, and I'll get rid of the PS2 version. Is Scarface: The World Is Yours for the original Xbox. And that one there is like super complete. It even has like this, I don't know what this is actually. It's just like an extra card that's in there. Even has a person's like original receipt. Let's just find out what they originally paid for this game. They bought it from, seems like Future Shop, and they paid $60 for it. So I definitely didn't pay that much for it. I ended up paying, you know, let's see here, $3.50 for this one. So that's pretty cool. And then finally, this is something I actually saw yesterday, but I left it behind. I thought it was a decent deal yesterday, but it's something that I'm going to end up flipping just because, while I don't actually have it in my collection, which is kind of funny, that I don't have this one, just because I haven't seen it in the wild. I don't really want to keep sealed games in my collection when I can recoup some costs and things like that with this. So this one here is Super Mario Bros. Or New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. Like I said though, it's factory sealed, And you know, this Value Village obviously recognizes their Mario titles because they wanted $20 for that. I obviously didn't pay that much because I got 30% off, so I ended up paying, you know, basically like $14 for it, which I thought was a reasonable deal for it. The only problem with it is there is a little ding like right here in it, but other than that, you know, it's in pretty decent shape and something I'll end up just flipping and recouping some of my costs. So that's pretty cool right there. That was everything from today. Now I'll get to the footage from yesterday and kind of put this all together so you can see the rest of the stuff that I got. Things that I'm going to show you here actually came from a Value Village, and the prices on them weren't that great, but I actually had a 15% discount card just from donating stuff and things like that. They actually have separate ones now where you purchase things and you get stamps, and then they have another one where what you do is you take in items and donate them and things like that, and then they put on these like little stickers, and basically you can get up to 30%. It's probably an easier way actually of getting a 30% off card than buying a whole bunch of stuff, but basically I had up to 15%, and I'd had that for a while and I just didn't really see anything out there, and I don't have a whole lot to donate to the store right now, so I just decided to go 15% off on these items. First thing I'll show you here is a Wii Nunchuck controller, which I kind of needed, so I was willing to shell it out. It was $3.99, so basically, you know, I'll do the math later, but you know, like $3.50 basically, something like that. For that, it's in pretty decent shape. I mean, I'll have to clean it up just like everything else I get from these stores, but you know, it seems like it's gonna work and everything like that. And I'm always looking for these because I have a number of the Wiimotes and I seem to find those a lot, but it seems to be the nunchucks that I can't seem to get a whole lot of these days. So I'll be able to pair this up, and actually I think this is the fourth one I needed just to have my sort of 4 of them for my setup, so that's pretty cool right there. The next thing is, and unfortunately this is missing its receiver, which kind of bums me out because these are, from what my understanding, are probably one of the best controllers you can use on the original Xbox. It's a Logitech wireless Xbox controller. Really cool. This one needs, you know, a little bit of TLC and some cleaning and stuff like that, but it feels really nice. But like I said, it's missing its receiver. That one was $4.99, so you know, with its discount, basically, you know, I'm not gonna say because it's basically just saving the tax on these things, so that's pretty cool right there. Yeah, like I said, it's missing the receiver, and unfortunately, the thing with this is, I thought I had a receiver at home for these, and I just was mistaken. I had something else, so I think I had like a PS2 version one or whatever. So this is pretty cool though. Yeah, I mean, it feels so comfortable. It's unbelievable. It's actually probably a bit nicer than the original Xbox controllers, even the S version ones. I think that this would be an awesome controller actually to use for the system. I'd have to look up reviews and things on it. It has vibration built into it, like everything's in there, so pretty cool. No corrosion or anything like that in the battery department of things, so that's really nice. Just no receiver. I scoured the store looking for a receiver for it, but didn't see one. But still, you know, for that controller, that's a pretty good deal, I thought. And then this controller actually is something pretty unique, I think. I don't know if there's a whole lot of these out there, but you let me know if you've ever seen one of these before. Pretty interesting. It's a Logitech PS2 keyboard controller. So you can see it actually has a USB connector, and I guess that's what probably powers it, and then you have also your PS2 connector, and I guess this was for online, like if you wanted to play and chat kind of thing. This is a pretty hefty controller. I can't imagine actually playing with this, but I just thought it was such a curious device that I'd go for it. So it has like its analog sticks on the side. You have to really get used to that. I mean, having such a widespread controller like this and playing like that, it doesn't really seem to be comfortable to me. Now, on the bottom of it, actually, you can see it here, it's actually grooved, so I think this is supposed to kind of rest on your legs sort of thing while you're playing, and then you could type, and then it's harder for me to show you obviously because it's on my legs right now, but you could type and then you could go back to your joysticks or whatever you like to call them. So it's pretty cool nonetheless. And that one there was $8, so whatever that is, 15% off, $8. That's what I paid for that, and I thought it was well worth it. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to hold on to it. If I have room to display it, I will, just because I thought it was so interesting. The cool part about it, too is you can actually, see if I can do this here. It's actually a little bit stiff to do this, but yeah, you can pull the keyboard off and actually plug it in USB wise, like it's totally separate from the other part of it. So you could actually just hook this keyboard up to something if you wanted to. Of course, it's gonna miss, like, you know, the directional buttons and stuff on that side, so it's like a slimmed down keyboard, but it's still cool to be able to do that, and you can kind of see how it is there. It's all wrapped together, so it's kind of hard to show you, but that's sort of the thing with it. It's a neat controller, and I think for $8 I couldn't leave that behind. I was pretty impressed with that when I saw it. And then this one here is something which is always good for trade or whatnot. I think this might actually be in better condition than the one I have, so I'm gonna have to check it out and swap things out and whatnot. But it's Star Wars Battlefront for the original Xbox. For that one there, they wanted $6, so I definitely thought that was a pretty decent deal for this title. Now, most titles I would leave behind for $6, but this one is pretty good. She's got some fingerprints on it, so pretty sweet deal. It's in great shape, has a manual and all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, obviously this is like one of the forefront series from back in the day, and I think a series that probably should be revived a little bit because there is a pretty big fan following for the Battlefront series, so, or Star Wars Battlefront series, so pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm going to use that to upgrade and things and sell off and recoup some of my cash here. Going into another Value Village, this was kind of interesting. I got an email the other day which said that all books, DVDs, movies, games, and all this kind of stuff were 50% off. So I went into the Value Village. I was actually hunting. I saw a NES game there that I was interested in, but they wanted $10 for it. I was willing to pay $5, so I figured, hey, I'll go check it out and try to get there early, just because the day before was a stat holiday or whatever, so I'm pretty sure they weren't open that day. But someone must have bought it the evening, the day before kind of thing, because I saw it in the afternoon, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to pay $10 for it. And I came back and somebody must have bought it for 10 or used a discount card or something like that on it. But still, nonetheless, when I was in there, I decided to pick up this title here, which is Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. And that one there is complete, which is really nice. And the disc on this one is in really decent shape too. So it's nice to find PSP titles that have like a good shape like that, because sometimes they're a little hard to come by. Some of them got pretty seriously scratched up. So it actually has like the poster and everything like that in there, a map as well. And this is something I didn't have in my collection already. It is a greatest hits version, but not a big deal. And it also has the, you know, instruction kind of manual. I guess this is an instruction manual. I've never really seen this before, but it sort of looks like one of those tabloid magazine sort of ideas. So it's a really neat, you know, instruction manual to go with it. So nice and complete and in great shape. Couldn't turn that down. It ended up being $3 because it was 50% off day, but it was kind of interesting when I went in there because the store didn't even know about their own sale. So when I went in there, I picked it out and then I said, this is half price today, right? I was just checking with the lady at the counter because I thought it was kind of weird that there wasn't a whole bunch of people there. And she's like, no, that's just on books. And I'm like, well, let me check my email here because I'm pretty certain that I got an email saying it was all these other things. And I brought up the ad that I had seen, which had been emailed to me by being a club member or whatever, and showed it to her. And of course, I was right because I had seen that or whatever. And then she had to get the manager to come out. The manager looked at it. I showed them the email, and then they finally agreed with me basically that I could get it for that. They said they got a different email that said it was just books, so I ended up scoring on that, but it was kind of hassle because I was waiting around quite a while just to pick up one title because the manager sort of was taking their sweet time to show up. And then the last thing, which is I picked up today from a Goodwill, was this is GTA 2 for the original PlayStation. Now this this here is not in the world's greatest shape. The disc is alright. The manual is in decent shape. The disc is, yeah, you know, looks like it might have been resurfaced at one point or something. It's not in the world's greatest shape, but I'm sure it'll play. It's just the case is completely messed up. So There's like cracks down here, and it's just disgustingly dirty and stuff like that, but I'll clean it up, that's no problem, and I'll recase it, and I think it'll look pretty awesome right there. And I did not have this in my collection, so I paid $2 for it. Thought it was great. I love the original ones back in the day. I used to play them on PC. I'm sure this is not as good as the PC version, but still, I do have the first one on the PlayStation, so happy to get the second one as well. That's everything that I picked up recently. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.